to why am I eligible to pay a promoted listing fee for the buyer I sent to my own item. It's just rinsing us for more money. Can we be honest here? I think it's outrageous, this change. If a buyer finds it themselves, I shouldn't pay the fee. How is that fair? How is that fair? I would love eBay, if you're watching this. If somebody at eBay is watching this, please come on and have a chat. Hello, welcome to the video. I wanted to have a chat with you about eBay. I'm going to try not to rant, but I do have fairly strong opinions about this one. It's promoted listings and the recent changes. Yes, I know, late to the party, but I wanted to have my say. I wanted to get out there. I've got things rattling around inside my head I really need to say. There have been changes to promoted listings. Actually, I wasn't aware. Here in the UK, they happened a few months ago, right? Am I right with that? We've had these changes. I'm going to explain if you don't know what they are for a while. It came to our attention, Andrea and I, through some of the American reseller channels that Andrea watches, Rally Roots in particular, were talking about it. Not very impressed about the new changes because they are coming to America soon, I believe, but we've had them here for a while and I was unaware. So anyway, let's give some context first. We're talking about promoted listings and recent changes. Now, promoted listings, I've never been a fan of that idea itself, and here's why. Bear with me. Let's talk about promoted listings first. We've had those now for a couple of years. I do promote a little bit. Andrea refuses to. Here's the thing with that. Just promoted listings itself. We pay eBay a fee as the platform, and their job is to match us up with our buyer. We pay for the privilege of having our items for sale there, and for eBay, facilitating that match, finding us a buyer. That's their job. Surely that's what we always paid for before they came up with this idea of you can pay us a bit extra and we'll push your listing out to potential buyers. If we find you a buyer, you can pay a fee. And if you're not aware, this is what promoted listings are. And if you're not aware, you can choose to promote from 2%, go back to the 2% bit, upwards. The more percentage you hand over to eBay as your promoted listing fee, if they find you a buyer, the more you promote, the harder they will promote it, the further they will push it out to people. That's the idea. In a really competitive market, people are promoting and promoting more and promoting more and fighting over the sale and giving eBay, let's say, an extra 10% of their sales because they're feeling they have to promote to get ahead of the competition within eBay. eBay is gathering all of this extra revenue. Incredibly clever when you think about it. But before that, eBay was selling the same amount of stuff through the same selection of buyers, but nobody was paying a fee. They've just invented this fee and come up with it. That's kind of my view on promoted listings. And go back to the beginning. That's eBay's job to find us the buyer. That's what we're paying for with our fees. Surely. Now, 2% I mentioned. When they started promoting listings, you could promote at 1% if you wanted. And then, 6 months to a year in, they said, nah. You have to promote at a minimum of 2%. So they doubled their minimum revenue from it overnight. I wasn't a fan of that one. Anyway, so that's promoted listings in a nutshell. Paying for eBay to find you a buyer, which in my opinion is their job anyway. That's what they do. That's why we pay them. That's why our listings are there. So that's what promoted listings is. Now, recently, here in the UK, a few months ago, and I'll admit, I was unaware this change had happened. They changed it, and I am, choose your words wisely, Nick. I'm a bit peed off at this one. I think it's outrageous, this change. What they've now done is, let's say you choose to promote your random furry 1970s bin. I wouldn't actually choose to promote that because I don't think there's many about, but that's another video discussion topic. If you choose to promote your item, right, and somebody clicks on that item through one of these, like, you know, where eBay has pushed it out to buyers in different corners of eBay or whatever. Somebody at some point clicks on it. Oh, I want a furry bin. Click. You know what? Change my mind. I don't want it. Now, because somebody, a random person out there, has clicked on a promoted listing, this one, now if anybody else goes and buys it, I pay the fee. But the person that's bought it, eBay, you didn't find me that buyer. And that was the agreement. That's the whole point of promoted listings. I'm paying you to find me a buyer. If a buyer finds it themselves, I shouldn't pay the fee. How is that fair? How is that fair? I would love eBay, if you're watching this. If somebody at eBay is watching this, please come on and have a chat. Come on our Sunday Live and explain this one to me. Explain how this one is fair. The point of promoted listings is I'm paying you, eBay, an extra to find me a buyer. Even though that's kind of your job in the first place. Now you've decided, if somebody that eBay didn't find through promoted listings buys the item, if somebody completely unrelated has already clicked on it and not bought it, I'm eligible for the fee. I've watched a couple of these videos and people have tried to find a kind of analogy or a way of explaining why this is wrong. Here's an example of why I think this is fundamentally wrong. We very often will show a haul, right? When we go out sourcing, let's say we go to a yard sale event, we'll make a video and have a little haul at the end of it or something. Very often people will message us and say, Nick, I would like your furry bin. And we go, oh, well, that haul was actually a week ago and I actually was efficient and I got it listed on eBay. So here, I'll sometimes will literally email people the link to the eBay listing. They'll click it and buy it through eBay. Now, if that very scenario happened, Mr. Bloggs says, Nick, I saw in your video the furry bin. I'd like it. Oh, I've listed it on eBay, Mr. Bloggs. Here's the link. Go and buy it. Now, eBay didn't find me that customer. They had nothing to do with the acquisition of that customer. That customer found out about this through YouTube, through my efforts of making videos. I then sent them to the listing. Nothing to do with eBay. They then bought it. But the day before, some other random customer clicked on a promoted listing and had a look at this, didn't buy it. So why am I eligible to pay a promoted listing fee for the buyer I sent to my own item? Why? Is that fair? Is that fair? eBay, if you're watching, please come on and explain that do you understand why this irks us, the sellers? This is one of those times. Now, I am a fan of eBay. I really, really am, always have been. But I think it's worth calling out when you think they are really taking the pee. And this time, I really think they are. And it's decisions like this that drive the wedge between eBay and us, the sellers, because it feels like you're taking advantage here. And I would love to chat to someone at eBay and for them to explain why. Because I don't think there's any other reason for this policy change than making more money out of us. Now, of course, it is promoted listings is optional. You don't have to do it. So we could just opt out completely. And that's where I think I'm going. I don't like being ripped off. And that's what this feels like. If I send customers through my social media to my own eBay, I will very often now be incurring the promoted listing fee for a buyer I have found through my own efforts. And that is fundamentally unfair. Do you agree? Put it in the comments. Do you understand where I'm coming from on that? There you go. That wasn't too ranty, was it? I really think it's worth calling this one out. I don't know who came up with this. Here's the other thing. I understand eBay are a company. They want to make money. They are trying to, build up profits and keep their shareholders happy and all that stuff. But this one is just, it's just using us as sellers, or it's just rinsing us for more money. Can we be honest here? That's what it is. I'm sure I had other points. It's hard when you do kind of one of these, turn on the phone and get it all out, to remember everything you were going to say. I just watched back what I recorded, and although it's a bit of a ramble, I think I got my points across just about. Please let me know in the comments below your opinions on this, positive, if there are any, or negative. And yes, eBay, if somebody is watching this from eBay, please share this around. And if somebody would like to come on and chat with me, please do. Please have your say. Defend this policy if you think I'm being unfair and saying this is unfair itself. Love to talk. Really would. Thank you. Thank you for watching. I appreciate this was just me having a little, let's call it a rant, go on then. A little mini rant about a policy change. Message me down below. Let me know what you think. Hope things are good where you are. Hope sales are strong. Ours are not where they should be. That's because I've been focusing on other things. As soon as you drop the ball with listing, sales come down. So I am busy working through a lot of stuff at the moment to get it out of the building, down to our antiques booth, and then I'll move on to listing. All this media is coming up soon. That's a big one. Must have 2,000 or 3,000 items of media, which normally I promote. I'm not sure I will anymore. Still thinking through that one. Anyway, hope you're well. Take care. If you'd like to carry on watching me, I'll plonk another video up there. Click on that and I'll see you there in a sec. Ta-ra.